Bonjour and welcome! In this episode of La Felicita Stories we are going to learn how to surf. But for that we first have to leave the Ile de Ré and drive to Soulac-sur-Mer, which is north of Bordeaux on the French Atlantic coast. We have been there before a couple of weeks ago, but at this time all the surf schools were still closed. And on the way there we will actually be driving the 100,000th kilometer of our van. So we had 99,999. 100 meters left as we are driving over this bridge. Yeah, there it is! Woohoo! 100,000!
So this car has been driving
100,000 kilometers.
which is not that much because it's quite old, so
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
36 years old.
Yeah.
Bonjour!
Combien de personnes?
Deux personnes.
23,60.
Sans contact.
Et vous prendrez la file numéro 12.
12, oui.
Et au revoir.
Merci. So what is your surfing experience?
None.
None.
But ready to learn.
Ready to learn, okay. I've been surfing before, long time ago. Once in India and second time in South Africa. So now it's the third time, another different continent.
Long.
Merci, monsieur. We are arriving now with a ferry and we will try to go to a camping spot where we've been before. It's actually, it was a camping ground, like an official, where you have to pay, but it was closed and so everybody was there like for free. But as it is a weekend, we will see if there's even some space or if we have to find something else. Well, there are a lot of people. Are we still going there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so because it's closest to the surf school. So yeah, let's see if it's still for free and then stay there.
Hello everyone with your satellite dishes and your white vans, camping cars. So we walked over to the surf school, but because there's a very high tides right now, or strong tides, he said right now it's not the best time for beginners, so we should come back in a couple of days because then the tide will be a bit easier. So all we could do now is enjoy a few days at the ocean and wait for better conditions. To be surrounded by so many other campers was a bit unusual for us, but it's okay to have some change from time to time and check out how the professional campers are managing van/RV living. The next day we could really see how wild it gets out there. This was a strong high tide covering the entire beach and crashing against the shore with the water just over 6 meters higher than the low tide. Still, there were some brave surfers out there getting drenched. We watched them for a while, but we didn't see them catching a wave even once, just getting very wet. So we continued hanging out with our elderly camping neighbors and had a delicious lunch. Here we were cooking rice paper rolls. You need this circular rice paper, which you put in water for a few seconds. Then add cooked rice noodles and whatever you like. We added roasted tofu, cucumber, salad leaves, and then you roll it up like a burrito and add soy sauce later. Another day of waiting, but we didn't really mind as it was very nice to hang out at the ocean and have a walk on the beach.
Oh my god.
Later we tried to call the surf school, but no one answered the phone. Baguette. Today is Wednesday and we are changing our parking spot.
Because now we stayed long enough in this like camping area, like it feels
Retirement camping area.
like Au revoir.
Au revoir. And look at this huge one. Ui, ui, ui. Spaceship. We drove over to the surf school as it was also possible to park there. It was a very short drive, just 500 meters down the road. As we walked to the beach, we saw a lot of surfers in the water, so we were looking for the surf instructor. So we just talked to Marco, the surf instructor.
He's over there.
And well, today it's kind of the surf club out here, but he said tomorrow is good, so tomorrow afternoon, because of the tides, it's kind of difficult to find the right time, but
Yeah, and it's difficult for beginners because the tide is very strong.
yeah.
But tomorrow we're gonna have our first surf lesson and I'm very excited.
Yeah, surfing.
So the really cool thing about surfing is that you're super depending on nature. So it's like a sport that is so connected with like the weather, the tide, and how the waves are.
What are you doing, by the way?
Preparing my hair for our first surf lesson. Yeah, so in comparison, like other sports, you can just always go to the gym. Like I played handball, so you are always like ready to go. But surfing includes a lot of patience for like the perfect weather and the perfect conditions and the perfect waves, and I think that's very cool because then you appreciate it more if you actually have to wait for it and it's not there or possible all the time.
Ready to surf?
Ready to surf.
So we're now walking over to the surf school, which is 50 meters.
Away from our parking spot, yeah.
Today the water looks much calmer, so nice conditions for beginners. Ready to surf?
Yeah, and it's actually super warm in this dry suit, so I'm ready for the cold ocean.
And very comfortable.
Yeah,
Why don't we wear this all the time?
yeah, like a second skin.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
For have a good slide, because the most important in surf on the first time is to have the slide,
Yeah.
have the surf.
And to have fun.
Yes, the first sensation in the first feeling in surf, this is to feel the speed, the surf speed, the sliding speed. You understand me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alors,
So beginners use always the softboards, right? And
Yeah.
and advanced the hard
Exactly.
hardboards and
exactly.
short. Yeah, you look like a pro
Yeah.
with a huge board.
Yeah.
In surf, the wax is on the deck. On the deck, but on the middle for my body. And when I'm standing up, on my front foot and on my back foot. Put like that.
And then with the other
And-
thing, or
Here, it's use it here, but no sand.
so before jumping into the water, we went over some safety stuff and basics.
Maximum level water. Here, umbrella. On the side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the good condition for beginning. Standing up and taking control
Yeah.
in the good position. The leash of the board. I close 3 times. 1, 2, 3. In the water, your board is.
These are just some impressions from our lesson. We went over all the basic techniques and little details like how to handle the board, positioning in the water to catch a wave, hand placement on the board, timing, and a lot more. Yeah,
Oh, like this.
yeah.
Okay. My foot straight up, join, close on the board. And now the wave push me. I have a good speed if I have this good timing. 1 time, 2 time, and 3 time. Right. We go now?
Follow me. Remember, you two, one hand here, one hand here. Yeah. Yeah, and push inside, push inside. Yes, sliding. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Approximately. You have your hands here, and it's no good. Very important to have here.
Yeah.
And when you're pushing, you are in sliding position. Okay?
Okay.
Retry it. Okay, this is the good area. Now choosing. Yes, sir. Pushing. And join your foot. Very good. Okay, Laura, pushing. Yeah, very good. And straight up the body, straight up. Yeah, good. Woo. Whee. Very good. Straight up the body, straight up the foot. Yes, go, Laura. Woo. Pushing. Hard. And straight up, hard your body.
It was good to do it step by step, and for the first exercise to just concentrate on the timing, body and hand positioning on the board, pushing with the arms to gain speed, and closing the feet.
Yes, good. Woo! Take a spin. Mariano is good. Woo! Yeah! So Laura, you ready? Go! Straight up. Pushing. Straight up. Join your foot. Close your foot. Yeah, good. Good. Pushing. Woohoo! I'm a cameraman.
Yeah,
The price up. The price up.
The second exercise was going to be how to stand up and keeping the balance. Marco was a good teacher and a good cameraman, but sadly at the beginning of exercise 2 the camera ran out of battery.
Okay, so we had our first lesson
Yeah,
and it was pretty great.
yes.
So I had a lot of fun. I wasn't as good as Mariano because he was actually able to stand up.
Yeah, but you also once or
Yeah.
twice.
Yeah. But like with most things, it just takes a lot of practice. I mean, I didn't expect to just go out there and be like a natural talent and be like a super surfer. So it was really nice to do it for the first time, and our teacher was actually pretty nice,
And it was just the two of us with
Yeah.
the teacher, so
Yeah,
kind
that
of
was-
private lesson.
yeah, that was also really great. And the conditions here were quite good because you were able to stand in the water and just feel safe all the time and just like learn how waves act or come and like how you have to interact with the waves.
So tomorrow we will surf again, and we can rent some boards and suits here, and we can do it in the morning and in the afternoon because of the tides. Day 2 of our surf career. Beautiful sunshine, blue skies, nice and blue water, and a very sandy skate park.
So it's super cool to now watch surfers who are in the water after having my first surfing lesson, because now I can kind of see what they're practicing. Of course not all of it because I'm still not a pro, but before that I was always wondering why they are not just surfing and why it takes so long, but it's just really a lot of patience and practice to like wave for the perfect wave and good conditions and be like secure, and then you just can go and start actually.
Yeah, surfing! We are going to the beach. Surfing! To refresh our minds, we went over the basics we learned the day before. It's important to close the feet, the right hand position, and the pop-up technique, which we were not very good at yet. But for a good balance, it is important to have the feet sideways, turn your upper body forward, pretending to push a shopping cart from a supermarket helps. Also getting low. When you feel pain in your leg, then you're low enough. Also positioning towards the wave. I assumed if you went straight to the beach that would be right. But as the waves are not necessarily parallel to the beach, you have to make sure to be at the right angle to the wave, otherwise the board turns sideways. beginners. We walk in until our belly button, and then we turn around and wait for some white water to arrive, and then we pop on and just slide. So turning around. Falling into the water is a big part of surfing, but it's fun. To get better, it's all about practicing. As a beginner, it's actually really hard to learn surfing because there are so many details you have to take care of. The hardest part probably balancing and a good pop-up technique. As I was surfing before and probably had some more practice with balancing from skateboarding and slacklining, I quickly had some success, but also was falling down a lot. But that's surfing, I guess. It takes a lot of practice, but the most important thing is to have fun. This is our new sofa.
Yeah, so this was our second practice time.
Yeah.
And I still have to improve, but it already went better, I guess. And it's just so much fun because like you're outside all the time. It's not really cold, so we have like the perfect condition. It's not too warm or not too cold, and time just flies.
Bye bye surfboard, bye bye leash. See you later after lunch. Free public shower.
Yeah, it's actually warm in the beginning because the water in the pipe gets warmed up by the sun, right?
But it's a rather weird place, kind of abandoned building.
Practice time number 3.
Number 3.
And it's 4 o'clock again.
Afternoon.
And we're ready to go.
Yeah. I will try to catch my first wave. You know this because my hair is still dry. So we had a really good time surfing here. This is really a good place to start out as a beginner.
And generally speaking, if you want to learn to surf, just do it. It doesn't matter how much experience you've got, what your body looks like. It's, for me, actually, it's all about the fun, and that counts for everything. So if you want to learn something and you've got fun while doing it, just do it.
So if you're interested in taking a course or renting a board and wetsuit, we'll leave some links from the Sulak Surf School down below. And if you come here, make sure to say hi to Marco from us, and he will probably make you a good price. And if you have other recommendations for surfing in France, as we will be staying here a bit longer as all the borders around us are closed. So any recommendations, please let us know. Also, if it's good to park there with the van, because this was kind of difficult in the past here. So thank you for watching. Merci, au revoir. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.